Tuesday, June 16th, and welcome back to the Damon Bruce Show, brought to you by Ike Sandwiches. And by the way, if you are among the initiated who have become part of the initiated from the very beginning, you get beautiful yellow stickers today. Congratulations. Congratulations on your yellow sticker. I'm proud of you. You should be very proud of yourself, too. As a matter of fact, I get to straight up cheers to all of the initiated. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Like and subscribe. Good things happen when you do. I mean, the sip of the day is right there, boys and girls. There it was. A perfect way to start what I hope will be a very good show for you today. Let's start with some respect to the NBA champions. Some respect to the NBA champions. I'm about to tell you why it wasn't a very good NBA playoff run. It really wasn't a very good NBA regular season. Not a lot of through lines, not a lot of stories to really share from this year, not a lot of memories made, but that is no reflection on what the Boston Celtics have accomplished. The Boston Celtics, you know, they never made the trade as a whole bunch of outside forces and experts who watch say they got to break this team up. They got to trade. They got to break up Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They're never going to win it together. Blah, 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 blah. Well, let me tell you, championships are like diamonds. Time and pressure brings them about. Rare is the team that gets to jump to the front of the line and stay there because they're that much better than everyone. The Warriors were really an example of how this doesn't happen very often. It's why Steve Kerr always said, this isn't the real NBA. What you saw from the Boston Celtics, that's the real NBA. That's a team that tried hard, was battle-tested, lost the finals, came back, tried it again, didn't get all the way back there, but they kept on working at it. They didn't break it up. They didn't take the easy way out. Brad Stevens looks, this guy, he's a basketball guy. He's a basketball guy. He went from coaching to upstairs, and it all works out in the end. The trades he made were consequential to the Celtics winning the 18th championship in franchise's history, the first title for Boston since 2008. And look, you know, we just live in a world of sports where no matter what you accomplish, the very first voice in the room is just trying to take it away from you, right? Like the Celtics hadn't even started clapping for themselves. The clock hadn't hit zero. And on the Twitter timeline, I see people saying, well, this is a terrible team. This is a terrible season. They had an easy path. Halliburton's injury alone means that this championship is a fraudulent championship. You're all mega assholes. You really are. This is not a fraudulent championship at all. The fact that the rest of the league couldn't keep up with Boston isn't Boston's fault. And look, Boston just has to manage their own players' health. They're not responsible for getting Tyrese Halliburton, to the end of the party safe and sound. They are only handling their own business. The injuries that happen along the way that they get to take advantage of, you cannot score that against them. Injuries are a part of sports each and every year we get to the championship round. Things get affected by injuries. So, I hate people who talk like that. They think that they're so on the inside and have something deep to say about a title run because they remembered a guy last round was hurt. Stop it. Stop it. It's not how sports works. This is a 64-win team in the regular season. They won 64 games. They went 16-3 in the postseason with the fifth best point differential of all time. Boston hit a ton of threes, played a lot of defense, and if you do that in the modern NBA, you are a contender. You can be a contender just doing those two things. Lots of defense, lots of three-point shots getting knocked down. And when Boston was at its best, it was very good. Again, they did it the right way. They did it having to do a coaching switch in the middle of this trying to win a championship run. To go from Ime Udoka to Joe Mazzulla, who seemed as unproven and untested of a hire on the day that it was made, to now he is, the coach of the defending NBA champs. Who would have seen that one coming? Really, Boston did it the right way. So I don't want anyone who saw that thumbnail to think that I'm here to dump on the Celtics. I am not. Congratulations to them. They did it the right way. That is an entire it's a lunch pail attitude that the franchise has brought with it through success, through failure, and it's to be commended. It really is. The Celtics were really, really good. This is not an all-time team. This is not some team that is going to go into the pantheon of our lifetime excellence. It's not bad, though. Certainly not their fault. So congratulations to the Celtics. And if you will allow me, because I know that so many people found this channel or have discovered me through the prism of football and the 49ers, let me just quickly take a little lesson from the Boston Celtics and wrap that into a conversation that we're constantly having about the 49ers. By the way, I saw a few 49ers fans saying, hey, the Celtics have won a title. This means the 49ers can do it too. And basically what you're admitting is that when you've got something good, it'd be ridiculous to take it all apart just because you're growing impatient, because championships are difficult. You know, Tatum can't win the big one. Tatum can't win the big one. I saw segments on SportsCenter and Fox Sports and all over that. Jason Tatum can't win the big one. He'll never win the big one. As a matter of fact, he's a great regular season guy, but he's not a playoff guy. He's not a playoff guy. Again, everyone who was making this statement, I guess, only thinks that the playoff games that anyone has to win are in the NBA Finals, because before this year, Jason Tatum had won 52 playoff games. He's not even 26 years old. He's won 52 NBA playoff games, but he can't win in the postseason, was the point that everyone tried to make. It's like the same point everyone's trying to make about Kyle Shanahan. Can't win the big one. Simply cannot do it. Well, all playoff games are big games, and Kyle Shanahan's won 8 of them. He's won 8 playoff games. That's more than most active coaches will ever even coach in, much less actually win. So there is a lesson between the Celtics, I think, and the 49ers. When you know you got really good hanging out in your spare bedroom, you don't throw anyone out of that spare bedroom looking for a new roommate. You know, results are not guaranteed. No results are guaranteed. All you can do is try as hard as you can, put your best product, your best thoughts out on a field, out on the court, and see what happens. It finally paid off for the Celtics. I do think it will eventually pay off for the 49ers as well. I want you to pay yourself off today with a fantastic lunch. And when you think lunch, I want you to think Ike Sandwiches. That's my guy right there. And he's got something just perfect waiting for you. Whatever style your taste buds like to wear, believe me, he's got the style to dress up your taste buds in an incredible amount of deliciousness. Get your taste buds to Ike's. Make sure Ike's is delivered to your taste buds by downloading that Ike's app. Start earning your way towards free sandwiches, and you'll be very, very happy. We will have more promos throughout the summer. We just had a great buy one, get one free promo last week. More to come. Thanks so much to my guy, Ike. He gets a gold star, along with all the initiated. By the way, gold stars this week to John at the Dubliner. We always tell you to go on and say hi to Kenny. This week, go say hi to John. We left John out of the party because we talked so much about Kenny. So I want you to now, when you go to the Dubliner on West portal, ignore Kenny in the name of being extra nice to John. That's what I would like. I'm sure they would like that too. I'm sure Kenny would like to be left alone. All the paparazzi that now follow him around when he leaves the Dubliner each and every night. Go to the Dubliner on West portal, no matter who's behind the bar. Make sure you tell them that the Damon Bruce Show sent you in. Get yourself a Guinness, get a shot, get yourself a little afternoon delight in there. You're going to be happy that you did. I love the Dubliner. Thanks so much to them for all of their support and your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you very, very much for doing all of that. Okay. So with all due respect to the Boston Celtics and lessons learned for sports fans everywhere, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's thumbnail, which I said, this was a forgettable season. And it really was. The rest of the NBA playoffs, and if you have to ask me, well, like what word would you attach to the NBA this year? Pedestrian. Just pedestrian. Just another season walking down the street. You know, it's not offending anybody. It's not doing anything wrong, but it's not standing out either. It was a pedestrian season for the NBA. I really believe that. The postseason gave us what? Maybe 1, 2, 3 tops. 3 tops, like really good games. We had a few game 7s. I remember one of them not even being a really good game 7. It was kind of over before it was even started. So, like, what will the season be remembered for? Like, what did we take away from this year that was something that will stay with us? You know, the 2023-24 NBA season will be best remembered for what? Well, okay, you know, the Celtics did finish it off. A conversation about a championship that they started years ago against the Golden State Warriors. They finally finished off that championship conversation. I'll remember that. I'll remember this year for being the year where Anthony Edwards went from the number 1 overall pick with a lot of promise to, oh, he's here. This is really happening. Anthony Edwards is a legit, real deal NBA player. That happened this year. I think Victor Wembanyama has so aggressively started his career that if the Spurs build around him, we can start looking at him like, yeah, he will be the centerpiece of a championship team, and he is no more than maybe 4 or 5 years away from being regarded as the single greatest basketball player on planet Earth. Victor Wembanyama is in a class photo of 1. There's nobody like him in this league, and he used his rookie year to establish a very interesting career that we're about to watch. So the year of Wembanyama, the year that Anthony Edwards officially arrives. But what else did we get beyond that? You know what? Would we get 2 or 3 decent, really good NBA playoff games? That's only 1 or 2 more than we got lifetime suspensions for gambling. Jonte Porter's lifetime gambling suspension is among the most memorable things to happen this year from the NBA. Again, that is not an on-court activity. Well, I guess it was, and that's what got him in trouble. Jokic won another MVP. Like, we already knew he was great, so there's really nothing new there other than, you know, the Nuggets couldn't exactly go on to flourish in the postseason the way that they did in the regular season. It's the year that ESPN's crew, pre-post-game, mid-game crew, all revealed themselves as not very good. I mean, I don't expect much from my pre and post games. I don't. But when something's particularly bad, it stands out. Leave it to poor Bob Myers. This is the year that he really joined the team, that ESPN's broadcast totally circled the drain. It was a self-serving show more than it was serving of the fans or the moment that they were broadcasting around. The lack of coverage of the Pacers in the Knicks-Pacers series was an embarrassing moment for ESPN. It really was. Stephen A. Smith getting filmed walking into stadiums like he's about to play a game. Did it bother me? No, I'd pick and choose what bothers me. That doesn't bother me. And it did get like 6, 7, 8 million views. So, you know, don't tell me people don't want to see that, but it's absurd. It's ridiculous. And it's ESPN sniffing its own farts. And they got caught doing that a lot this year. I got to be honest with you. I really liked Doris Burke as a broadcaster until this year. I think Doris Burke jumped the shark this year. JJ Redick has no shark to jump. He provides nothing to the broadcast. Zero. Like, I do hope he becomes the next coach of the Lakers, just to get him off the broadcast. He is as forgettable as the wind. There's just nothing there. Mike Breen is still great, but Kevin Harlan's better. I wish he were doing the NBA Finals. What else happened this year? I mean, seriously, what else happened this year? Not much. You know, the Lakers were the in-season champs, and the only reason why I remember that is because we spent time laughing about it. So that didn't really do much or anything. From a Warriors standpoint, it was a total throwaway season. And that's what's so mind-numbingly frustrating about it, because you don't want to go throwing away these last few years of Steph Curry. You really don't. But it was a throwaway season for the Warriors. They did get something out of their rookie class. That's good. Podziemski and Trace Jackson-Davis look like NBA players. I liked Jonathan Kuminga's progress. And that's about it. Otherwise, it was a totally stuck-in-the-mud season that was done in once again by Draymond Green's immaturity and inability to conduct business like a big boy. You know, I got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old upstairs, and I'm trying to always talk them into being big boys. Draymond Green, we need you to be a big boy. Stop throwing your temper tantrums. You know, this was a season that was dotted with totally inexcused, hard to understand absences from Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins. Like, you guys are supposed to be picking up the slack, not creating slack at the end of Steph Curry's career. You're a bunch of slack creators. The end of Steph Curry's career deserves something. The end of Steph Curry's career deserves something significant happening here. And the Warriors need to now do one of two things. They need to make a significant, one final push all the chips into the middle of the table type of run where you do rob tomorrow for today. You do trade away younger talent to try to win one more today, and everyone has to take that deal as it's presented, because part of that deal is, so this still might not be enough to win a championship this year, and you are absolutely neutering future success because of this trying to win one more title. So if that's the deal you're willing to take as a fan base, and if that's the direction the Warriors want to go in, I say go ahead and do it. The other side of that would be to conduct an honest-to-God rebuild around Steph Curry, knowing that growing pains and championship opportunities no longer really present itself, but Steph Curry remains the captain of a team that he has officially left in better condition than when he found it, and he begins the bridge to the next "these guys are contenders" run. That's it. That is the fork in the road. One more hair on fire, we're trying to win a championship right now, or the acquiescing into we're really not trying to win a championship as much as we're trying to set up the future for success while having Steph Curry land the airplane of his career as gracefully, tastefully, and competitively as possible. Those are the two roads in front of the Warriors, and some of the decisions that we could get in the next couple of weeks will go a long way to telling us how they're thinking about this offseason and what's coming up. I do know this, that the official luxury tax numbers are in, and how much extra did Joe Lacob pay? And this is the luxury tax. This has got nothing to do with paying the team its salary. This is the sprinkles of the luxury tax on top of the single most expensive roster in NBA history, which, by the way, was rendered a team that didn't go to the playoffs because Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins were both pulling disappearing acts. Both pulling disappearing acts in the middle of Joe Lacob paying $176.9 million in luxury tax. That's $177 million in luxury tax if we round it up. $177 million in luxury tax to watch Draymond not be able to control himself again, and Andrew Wiggins having to go and be mindful or whatever he needed to do to get away for whatever bitch-ass excuse that is. You know, I'm sorry. Those guys need to stop screwing around with Joe Lacob's investment with your own personal headaches. Joe Lacob paid $30 million more than the second highest luxury tax bill in the NBA. That was the Clippers, by the way. And what are the Warriors really guilty of? Why are they being charged this luxury tax? I'll tell you what they're guilty of. They're guilty of being successful and trying to remain successful with players that their fans root for because they drafted them. That doesn't feel like it should be punished this heavily with this much of a monetary fine, as if the Warriors have done something wrong. I hate the NBA's luxury tax system. It's ridiculous. All it does is punish owners who want to win. One of them specifically named Joe Lacob. It basically says, Joe, how dare you draft and develop a handful of future Hall of Fame players and have the audacity to keep them together to continue to win. Like, don't you know the NBA is not about that? I really thought that the NBA was about that. Apparently, it isn't. The NBA is actively discouraging excellence from hanging out in any one city for too long, which is really weird. Really, really weird. So there you go. A very forgettable NBA season, a throwaway season for the Warriors, a championship season for the Boston Celtics. And it's amazing. That's their first title since 2008. And by trading away the pieces of that championship, Garnett and Paul Pierce, to Brooklyn, those guys became the draft picks that were Tatum and Brown. So it's all connected. All these years are connected together after all. We will be entering into Club Plus to see what's going on in the chat, but I'm on a roll here. I want to keep rolling before I get into today's chat. Like a couple of years ago, if you came up to me and said the following, Damon, both these things are going to be true. You're going to be off the radio, even though you had the most popular show in the market. You're going to be off the radio, and when you do go off the radio, you'll find yourself on YouTube talking about the WNBA more than you could have ever imagined. I would have said, well, neither of those will be true. Maybe I'll be off radio, but me talking WNBA, no chance. But here we are. And the reason why I bring it up today is to not tell you that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese just did some ratings record-breaking win the other night. Congratulations. The NBA valuations list is out, and I've never seen this before. So what are these franchises worth, right? Well, the Las Vegas Aces, who are the back-to-back defending WNBA champions, the Las Vegas Aces have earned the top spot of WNBA valuations, $140 million. The Las Vegas Aces are worth $140 million. That's the top spot. The Atlanta Dream, the least valuable of all the WNBA franchises, and there are only a dozen of them, they're worth $55 million. And I guess there'll be, 13 teams once the Valkyries join? Is there another team coming in with the Valkyries? I really, because the Valkyries are in my backyard, I'm paying a little attention to them. The rest of how the WNBA grows, I really don't care. I'm not paying attention, but I'm guessing that they're not having an odd number of teams in the league. So is there another team coming in with the Valkyries? If so, super duper. But I see why, Joe Lacob is making this investment, right? To pick up a WNBA team for Joe Lacob it's couch cushion money. As a matter of fact, Joe Lacob could have bought, with just his luxury tax bill, the most valuable team in the league, the Las Vegas Aces, and had $40 million left over. Joe Lacob pays more in luxury tax than the top WNBA franchise is worth. So that's why Joe Lacob is getting into the WNBA business. It's no skin off his back. He can only make money on that deal. So there you go. But, WNBA team worth $140 million. Never thought I would have seen that. Never. But here we are. The world is changing. Oh, I never thought that the WNBA would become more popular while Doris Burke lost her popularity. Talk about two things didn't see coming. That right there is right there. What else we got? The San Francisco Giants had a fun one at Wrigley on Monday, did they not? You know, lots of people make that trip out there. And I'm happy for the Giants fans who get a great game at Wrigley when they make the pilgrimage to Chicago's North Side. And I just know that, you know, every single game that's being played at Wrigley Field is being played in front of somebody who's in there for the first time. And you can see Giants fans walk into that place and realize quickly, you know, they're in a cathedral. It's beautiful. It used to be a million times better than it is now. They've ruined Wrigley Field in just about every way conceivable, but it's still great. Last thing Wrigley Field ever needed was LED lights, a big digital scoreboard. It was supposed to be like stepping back in time. They modernized it, and I don't like that, but okay. 3 runs in the top of the ninth for the Giants. Game 2 of the series at 5:05. By the way, get that clicker out because Lord Stanley will be in the building down in Florida as the Panthers are trying to win a Stanley Cup. We would crown an NBA champion on Monday night, an NHL champion on Tuesday night. That's a pretty good start to a sports week, right? Heliot Ramos has officially played himself out of Farhan's thinking. Right? Like Farhan can't think about what to do with Heliot Ramos anymore. He's just got to play the guy. Ramos is hitting .387 in the month of June with 7 homers and 18 RBI. Can't send that down, Farhan. I dare you. Try to send that down. Try to send that down. You can't. So I saw that Kruger pointed out in a tweet that Ramos is hitting .438 off of lefties and should maybe be the Giants All-Star. I'd be cool with Ramos being the Giants All-Star. Matt Chapman's kind of fallen off a little. Probably won't be him, right? Or maybe it will be. I don't know. You could have Logan Webb, Jordan Hicks. Feels like Camilo Duvall is backing away from an all-star appearance with a couple of struggle games from him lately. But, dude, Ramos has really established himself this month. Like, this is the month where, what do you know? The Giants actually gave Heliot Ramos a month, and look at what he's done. Again, that guy better not be going anywhere anytime soon. So having said all that, good feelings around the Giants. I've been thinking a little bit about this Rickwood game that they've got coming up in Birmingham, Alabama at Rickwood Field. So, you know, the park's been around Birmingham since 1910. Whenever baseball has taken a major league game and put it in a special venue lately, it's really worked. Like the Field of Dream games have been fantastic. This Rickwood Field feels like it'll be a setting that is a great backdrop to an interesting, you know, moment in time. And I think it's going to be a really cool venue. Again, Major League Baseball in tiny parks is kind of cool right up until the A's decided to, you know, ruin that concept by moving into a AAA park next year. But I'm down with this game. Like, it feels like a great idea, but it's really a shame that the Giants are going to be rolling out there without Willie Mays and without Renel, who, with all due respect to Willie Mays at the age of 93, you know, really didn't, you know, outside of tipping his cap on field in a couple of ceremonies, he really isn't around the team very much anymore. Renel was there every day as the in-house voice of the PA system of the Giants, right? And I tell you, Willie Mays isn't making it to Rickwood Field. And at the age of 93, you can't say anything other than Willie. That's a shame. You know, at 93, if you're not comfortable taking that trip, you don't have to. But what a shame that Willie Mays won't be there, since this is, you know, the minor league ballpark that he came up in. And a big reason why they're being played, the game is being played in this ballpark, is because of the Willie Mays connection. Willie Mays is the thread that ties the Giants to Rickwood Field. And they're going to be going without their thread. That's too bad. That's a shame. But that's, you know, that's the aging process. And that brings me back to Renel, because Renel would have been the Giants' official ambassador. And I believe it's a home game for the Giants, right? So she would have been the voice at Rickwood Field in the upcoming series. And it would have meant so much to her. It would have meant so much to her. Like, this is a proud, professional, wonderful, inspiring, infectious, real black woman. Renel is the real deal, to the point where, you know, she went and talked about Charles Johnson's, you know, contributions and got herself on his radar and got herself in trouble. You know, Charles Johnson, the owner of the San Francisco Giants, basically said, fire the black woman. She's a little too lippy for me. That's what he did. It's his right to do that. She absolutely was stepping on some powerful toes when she criticized him. But I think Renel's point was you know, pretty accurate. And I'm paraphrasing here. You know, Charles Johnson's political contributions should be read aloud in between the innings at Rickwood Field to let everybody know what a pandering move this is for the Giants. The Giants are trying to look like they celebrate diversity. They don't. No more than the bumper sticker or the T-shirt to sell you do they really honor diversity. As a matter of fact, Charles Johnson's political contributions might as well be going to a super PAC called Screw the Darks. I mean, seriously. You know, every single dollar that Charles Johnson is spending in his political contributions are to keep the Negroes nice and quiet, thank you very much. That's the truth. That's the truth. Renel called him out. She lost his job, and the Giants are still going into Rickwood Field and get the parade. Oh, here's our diversity. What, is Larry Bear going to sit in the front row and represent the Giants' diversity? The Giants don't have a lot of diversity. The main emblem, the hood medallion on their diversity, was fired in the year where they're going to Rickwood Field to celebrate diversity. Does anyone else smell the bullshit coming off of this? You want to talk about the segment they'll never do on KNBR? Not going to happen on 95.7. No one will talk about this but me. Thank you for being here today. Like and subscribe. This is what independence brings you. My bullshit detector going off on the Giants being at the Rickwood Field game. Rolling in there without Willie Mays and without Renel. The Giants care about diversity about as much as Meineke Muffler cares about celebrating the LBGTQ community. You know, I mean, and I'm not picking on Meineke. Maybe the CEO of Meineke is gay and loves his husband dearly. I don't know. I have no idea. But I am guessing that Meineke Muffler is wishing everybody happy Pride Month, when everyone has to send out their Pride Month, happy to celebrate it with you, bullshit, pandering tweets, and then won't say a word about it in any other month of the year. You know, I'm like, baseball cares about diversity the way that corporations really care about pride. They just want to make sure that they slap the bumper sticker up there too, so no one can accuse them of saying, well, didn't put up the bumper sticker. It's like the Seinfeld episodes of, you know, where Kramer refuses to wear the AIDS ribbon. What do you mean you're not wearing the AIDS ribbon? That's what's going on here. You got performative, compassionate nonsense around subjects that have been voted upon that have nothing to do with, let's sell the concept of diversity. No, you literally had the concept of diversity installed and you got rid of it. So, you know, It's a made to look like we care about these things situation more than it is an actual care about these things situation. Again. Pennzoil celebrates Pride Month. What? Okay. Again, if I were a gay man, Pride Month would now so thoroughly offend me that I wouldn't participate in it. The same way if I were a black man, Black History Month would so thoroughly offend me, I wouldn't participate in it. So that's just me. Got to sneak in a little football here, right? Got to sneak in just a touch because timelines matter, as my old buddy Ray Ratto used to say. Timelines matter. And we got a timeline for the 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk now to get their deal done because the 2024 training camp starts on July 16th for the 49ers. The rookies report on that day and veterans report on the 23rd. So that means we got 36 days for the 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk to hammer out a deal, or there's officially a holdout beginning. 36 days to get a deal done with Brandon Aiyuk or trade him before a holdout begins. First preseason game is August 10th. I mean, we could go ahead and pull the timeline out to there, but I'm just going to stick with what Kyle Shanahan said about offseason mattering to Brock Purdy, to his offense. So I want to get everybody out there for a few weeks working together before it goes up for real. So there you go. 36 days to get a deal done for Brandon Aiyuk. Timelines matter. We now have an end date. And we know that the 49ers don't really hand out their extensions until you get closer to that end date. So we'll keep our eye on all that for you. Keep our eye on this, too. Today, David Bakhtiari, I guess on the Adam Schefter podcast, he was released by the Packers after 11 seasons with the Packers. He's had a lot of knee problems, but I guess he was really, really happy with the way that his last knee surgeries went. And he says he's got a few more years left in him. The 49ers should be on the phone with David Bakhtiari today. They should be on the phone with him today. If that guy's going to play another couple of years, why not say, hey, David, we want you in here. We want you to sort of be our right tackle while Trent Williams continues as our left tackle. God forbid anything happens to Trent Williams. We're a lot more comfortable with you sliding over to left tackle than asking Colton McKivitz or Jalen Moore to do it. So David Bakhtiari should absolutely be a phone call that the 49ers are making. And that is today's show, except the one little boop sprinkle on top that I'm going to put for you here. I told you about a couple shows on HBO that were, House of Dragons did not impress me. The 4-part documentary on Stax, the Memphis record label, the 4-part HBO documentary about Stax, outstanding. Start watching it immediately. And another thing that I watched last night that I really, really enjoyed, because I've always loved him, and I'm a big Mel Brooks guy too, and he's all over the documentary, Remembering Gene Wilder. It's on Netflix, and it's fantastic. It's a 90-minute documentary about Gene Wilder, how different, how unique, how kind, how vulnerable he was. Really, just a beautiful person, and funny as hell. Incredible comedic timing. Did you know that he was basically cast in Young Frankenstein the day before it started filming? They had cast another actor. Mel Brooks had cast another actor. The other actor falls off the wagon, seriously battling alcohol, had to go and get dried out in some facility for months. And Mel Brooks is like, I got to start filming tomorrow. So he calls Gene Wilder, who he knows from casting Gene Wilder in The Producers, and boom, the Waco Kid is born. in Blazing Saddles. No, it was Blazing Saddles. Excuse me. He was in Young Frankenstein, but it was Blazing Saddles. Gene Wilder was cast in Blazing Saddles the day before it started filming. It's incredible. You can't even think of the movie without him. Young Frankenstein was actually written partially by Gene Wilder. It was his idea. And then Mel Brooks said, we can do this together. It was fantastic. The new documentary, Remembering Gene Wilder. It should be called So Much More Than Just Willy Wonka. That should be the name of the documentary, because there was so much more that Gene Wilder did than just Willy Wonka. So there you go. That is your show today. We are going to stick around here on YouTube and get into Club Plus. I told Jillian I would be wrapping up in about an hour. We got 2 kids home on summer break. California Academy of Sciences, here we come. Yesterday at Train Town, fantastic. The boys ran a train on Sonoma. Had a great time. Really, they had wonderful. That's a great, if you got kids under the age of 10, under the age of 8, Train Town in Sonoma is fantastic. California Academy of Sciences for the boys today. We got to get these kids out of the house. Tomorrow, there will be a Wake Up with Larry Krueger, 8:45 Wednesday morning, happening live. And then that's going to be it for the week. That's going to be it for the week, because we are off to Tahoe. Now, I will be checking in from Tahoe. Bane may be checking in from Tahoe. Sports Bane could be up there. We're vacationing with Sports Bane, possibly. I know I've been threatening a lot of people with Sports Bane, but he's been hard to book lately. But with the new yellow stars honoring memberships are available. You really want to support this channel. Becoming a monthly member is so appreciated. Thank you so much. It lets everyone know how tight and cool this community is. But liking, subscribing, supporting the sponsors that support me, Ike's, the Dubliner, and West Portal, that's the way you support this show. Thank you so much for clicking, for watching, for supporting. Like and subscribe, my good friends. We're going to hop into Club Plus, but if you were just listening on the podcast today, this is where we say so long. And please do remember that sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, he's gone. Squeaky disco ball time. Yes. Here we go. I have not even opened the chats today. I'm going all the way back up to the top. We start with, from the top, Rave 123456V. This year was about the vets and the guys from the draft giving us the best chance. Talking some Warriors hoops. There. Look, there's only one vet that really helped the Warriors this year. His name's Steph Curry. Draymond was absence without leave. Wiggins is just he's a dog. There's no other way to say it. Wiggins is a dog. I'm done with him. I like the way Jonathan Kuminga came about. Love me some Trace Jackson Davis. Had Steve Kerr decided earlier in the year to believe in him, the Warriors are probably in the postseason. But he chose to wait for Trace too long. And the absences of Draymond and Wiggins were just long enough to scuttle an entire year of Warriors basketball. And the trade that they didn't make to hold on to what they got wasn't quite good enough. And here we are. Steve P says, boring NBA. I love the NBA, man. I love hoops. I love basketball. I love college basketball. It might not appeal to people the way that football does, but it ain't boring to me. And I get upset when I know that a great season was right there to be had and it didn't really happen. It was okay. It was a forgettable NBA year. True Blue Forever, trying to figure out how to, he's just skating through the day. He's like Andrew Wiggins. He's like, I just need to pretend to work for a few more hours. Then I get my afternoon tea time. There you go. Like Andrew Wiggins, just jogging in between the free throw lines. Maybe he'll go to the rim. Probably not. What else we got going on here? True Blue Forever saying, anybody think that the yellow star means person is away from keyboard and the green star is available? No. That's not what that means. That's not what that means. If you got a yellow star today, it means you've been down from day one. Otis Bird, always good to see you. The new CBA is dumb. It really is. It comes with a Joe Lacob tax. Mark says, Damon, I agree with you. If it was the Knicks or Lakers, there wouldn't be this luxury tax. It feels like, I never even really thought about it like that. But yeah, it feels like the Warriors were never chosen to be the team. So here we are. How do we get the Warriors to stop being the team? Did you hear that the Knicks are kind of lowballing OG Anunoby, and he might want to test the market and get OG Anunoby, the Golden State Warriors, if you can. Roberto Prado saying, keep rolling, baby. Thank you very much. Plus is where it's at. Thank you, Baron Red. Mario said, talk Giants now that they won. Well, they won a game of Wrigley. That was good. It was a good game. It was a really good game. Gina, who I got to meet at Line 51 when Damon Amendola was out here for the F. John Fisher Festival. Damon, it was great to meet you. Loved hanging with Michelle, too. Your Jillian is lovely. She sure is. Thank you for the shout-out. Heard it at work, listening on my way home. Well, Gina, it was a pleasure to meet you, too. It really was. Thank you so much. You have been down from day one, and I thank you for all the support. I really, really do. Just a little check-in from T from the 203. Yo. What's going on? Wrigley is fun to visit. Addison is a town. Well, yeah, corners of Sheffield and Addison are the run behind Wrigley Field. Clark brings you up to Wrigley Field. It's heaven on earth. Everything about Wrigley Field, except for what they've done to it, is perfect. It's perfect. It really, truly is. And the surrounding neighborhood is everything that's right in baseball. It's what everyone wants and very few people will ever get to have. Mario. Uh-oh. Who cares about Wrigley? It's like saying, who cares about all these old family photos? Like Mario. This is tradition. This is a special place. How about this? The only person who could ever dump on Wrigley Field would be a person who's never been there. There are some very special spots in the sports world, and until you stand in them, you have no idea how special they really are. Wrigley Field, one of them. Fenway, one of them. 24 Willie Mays Plaza, it's one of them. The Giants built a perfect ballpark when they built that place. They really did. Pebble Beach, place is incredible. Lambeau Field, place is incredible. There are certain places that are absolutely magical. Damon, I sold my Game 5 tickets for $2,000 each. What you had tickets in Boston? What? Good for you. Otis saying Elio Ramos is the man. He saved the Giants season. He's been good. He's been fantastic. And he's been good enough to not be sent down again. Juan Santa Maria says Ramos has been awesome. We picked him up on my fantasy team. Oh, double awesome for you. Thank you. There you go. This year was definitely trash. By the way, San Bruno Mike, where can I go down and find that? Does that appear on the here it is. How about this? San Bruno Mike. He just hit that 6-month level, part of the initiated. Day one plus are here, been listening, just haven't been active, doing big boss stuff. I'll spare you the details. Miss you guys. Where's Bane? He's coming, San Bruno Mike. But thank you for being there from day one. I appreciate it. Again, Big Mac knows what's up. Wrigley's amazing. Again, it used to be even better. You should have seen it when it was still Wrigley Field. Now it's like modern Wrigley Field. It's like, imagine having this old classic car and then putting, you've got like an old, 67 Corvette and you got XM radio in there. Like, it doesn't belong in there. You give me the old market radio, not some aftermarket radio. A lot of love for Estrada. By the way, NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC. Cheers. Lots of love for Estrada. All right, where else are we here in this Club Plus timeline? True Blue saying, please do not get me started on fucking John Fisher. Yeah. No one needs to talk about that anymore. We all know where we stand. Rockin' New Era says, got to get my San Francisco Sea Lions hat shipped out. You talking like this, baby? It's one of my favorite t-shirts. Just happen to be rocking it. By the way, this on I didn't even think about. Yeah, this is what the Giants are going to be wearing at Wood Field game. That's how disrespected the Negro Leagues were. They're like, so the name of the team's the Sea Lions. Well, we got these jerseys with like a bear cub on them. Wear those. Still better jerseys than what Nike's, pulled out this year. T from the 203. Yeah. MLB needs a marquee game that is special event-ish. They've done well with it. But again, not having Renel or Willie Mays at Rickwood Field takes whatever that game was supposed to mean or feel like and turns it into something different. Otis Bird. Oh, yeah, they absolutely have an audible what do you give me for? With the woman that is now doing the PA announcing, whoever it is, they keep on rolling different people in there. They keep on, I heard a man doing PA a game that I went to. I haven't heard a man's voice booming out of there one other time. Like one other day where Renel was sick or couldn't make it. I think they let Bruce McGowan do it or something. I wonder how Brucey's doing. Red Jet. Say it louder, Damon. This man is preaching about Renel. She should be there, man. Absolute Bay Area legend, icon. Yeah, sad truth. Literally what they're doing behind closed doors. Fire the darks. Keep them quiet. It's what here's the thing. They're not even doing it behind closed doors, right? Not even doing it behind closed doors. It's part of the party's platform. Derek, watching over on the Twitter. I still can't call it X. KNBR glazes the San Francisco Giants so much it's embarrassing. Yeah, pretty much. Chef A, yay, it's Pride Month. But here in the Bay Area, every month is Pride Month, right? I mean, to me, like, we don't need a special month to set aside to acknowledge that, hey, this is a person. You should treat them like a normal person. Like, it's gross that we need that month. Hey, take this group of people who literally aren't hurting anybody and just be nice to them. Well, for how long do I have to be nice? Well, for the month. It's Pride Month. It's performative. It really is. Thank you very much. You don't want to wear the ribbon? Rockin' New Era 84. You don't want to wear the ribbon? What's wrong with you? You don't want to wear the AIDS ribbon? Remember, those two guys who were all over Kramer for not wearing the AIDS ribbon are the same two guys that took the dresser that the soup Nazis recipes were in that Kramer was trying to reserve for Elaine. So, oh, no, wait. Elaine got the dresser after the original dresser was stolen by the two guys who haunted Kramer about the AIDS ribbon. AJ Sargent, Damon's on one today. Well, look, man, you know what? I gotta end this week on a high note. It is. I'm going to Tahoe first thing Thursday morning. I'm going to spend tomorrow afternoon with the boys, give Jillian a little chance to chill out. I will be doing Wake Up, but this is going to be it for Damon Bruce shows for the week. Unless we sneak something in from Tahoe, some shorts, some videos, maybe we'll have fun. But I also need a little time away too. Thank you very much. Gay guy here. Oh, Benny. Gay guy here. Excuse me. Gay reporting for duty. Thank you very much. I definitely roll my eyes at the bullshit pandering. I would too. I mean, all of it would so offend me. Again, if I were a black man, Black History Month would offend me. If I were a gay man, Pride Month would offend me. What else we got going on? What else we got going on here? Yeah, did Justin Timberlake get a DUI or DWI or something? How does that happen? How does that happen? How are there enough people? I assume that wherever Justin Timberlake goes, he needs to bring security with him, right? Justin Timberlake just can't walk into a bar or a Walmart or a casino or anywhere without being hounded. So how does his entire security detail allow him to get a DUI? And again, it's really not up to them to stop him. Justin, it's up to you. You live in the age of Uber. If you get a DUI in the age of Uber, I'm trying to be, I'm trying to have a through line between all of my commentary. And my commentary is simply this. If you get a DUI in the age of Uber, you got to go fuck yourself, man. That's just unacceptable. Unacceptable. Gina knows what's up. The Gene Wilder thing was amazing. It really was. It was good. I like that Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder was great. Oh, my mom just left me a voicemail. There we go. She's calling. Damon, my buddy went to the Stax Museum during a trip to Memphis. I bet it was awesome. Unfortunately, they tore down the original building. Oh, Danny, you were at that game with me. I was in the Bay Area last month for Giants-Phillies day game. I was there too. That's the game that I was at. And there was a male PA voice coming out of the announcer. You know that you live in San Francisco when all of a sudden a male voice coming out of the PA system, that sounds weird to you. Like, we had been so conditioned to hear Renel. She is such a part of that ballpark that just a man's voice sounded totally different. Gene Wilder was amazing. Yeah, they get into this relationship with Richard Pryor too, Mario. What's sad is that they didn't have much of a friendship off camera. On camera, they were magic. Off camera, Richard was too busy freebasing cocaine to just be hanging out with Gene Wilder. Red Jet knows what's up. Academy of Sciences is life. It's good. The Academy of Sciences is fantastic. Silver Streak, yes, fantastic. Tahoe Plus, Maybe. Tahoe Plus. Yeah. Did you get an evil Damon here? Yeah, East Bay heard it too. East Bay Ricardo's like, the boys ran a train on Sonoma. Sounds like a wild night. That's what when you go to Train Town, you are running a train. Hand bananas. Damon, we need Sports Bane out there doing activities like golfing and skiing and tennis. Sports Bane, man for all seasons. We at Chef A says, Damon, do you think if the Celtics logo were in here, the woke Bay Area wouldn't be a little white leprechaun? What would he look like in Wait a minute, hold on. Do you think that if the Celtics were here in the woke Bay Area, would he be a little white leprechaun? What would he look like in San Francisco? Okay, so I guess the whole premise of your question is, would the Bay Area be upset by a leprechaun? I hope not. I hope that we would look at the leprechaun and just go, all right, it is white. It is white. It is Irish. It's probably a white Irish guy. No, I don't. I think we'd be able to handle the leprechaun. I think that they will be able to handle. I would like to think that we can handle a leprechaun. Imagine if we couldn't. Look at it this way. All I do know is that the person that was offended by the leprechaun would never be a minority. It would be some white woman in Walnut Creek complaining just to try to be interesting on social media. It would be virtue signaling. Damon, all that Boston hate is wild. If the Warriors were in the finals, this would have been an exciting season, per Damon. Stop it. No. This is the Warriors. The Warriors' absence had nothing to do with the fact that the NBA's postseason was boring. There were just a lot of uncompetitive series, and the coverage of the series was so subpar that they did nothing to rope you in or give you something to watch. It was just bad. It was a bad year for ESPN. Sporticus, there you go. Sporticus. The ESPN coverage of the NBA Finals was eons below TNT. Substance matters. It really does. It's been awful. I love that Damon calls me Roberto. You know what I do is I take the O on the end of Prado and I put it on Robert. But you should absolutely change that name. You should be Roberto Prado. I mean, think about it. Robert Prado might not be sexy. Roberto Prado is guaranteed to be sexy. I don't care who walks through that door. If your name is Roberto Prado, you have increased your sexiness quotient just by adding an O. So, a little tip from me to you. SF Indigo. Fenway is surprisingly small. Absolutely. The biggest, when you walk in to Fenway, the first thing I think that will hit you is how short it is. It's so short. You go into these ballparks and you got these huge upper decks. Fenway is a 3-story garage. It's cool. Again, we're back at San Bruno Mike's. Membership level kicking in at 6 months. Thank you. Sporticus comes in again. Scripted post-championship interviews are uncomfortable and seem not genuine. The best thing about it was Jaylen Brown dropping an F-bomb. Give me more real. Well, it just shows you how bad these TV broadcasters truly are. Bunch of teleprompter readers. The quality of post-game questions is just dreadful. It really is. Can't wait to try it, says, great show, Damon. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I thank you all for being here. It means so much. And again, we'll be checking in. We will be checking in, I can promise you, from Tahoe with a couple of videos sprinkled in, maybe some Bane content specifically for the members of the initiated. Uh-oh, Worldwide Wob roasted the fact that Bob Fitzgerald's going to be calling Steph Curry Olympic Games. The thread was pretty funny. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Again, when Bob wants to just do play-by-play of the game that he's doing, Bob is excellent at play-by-play. When Bob wants to blow the Warriors, he gives the worst and sloppiest blowjob in broadcasting. He really does. Zothmith saying, man, caught the club. Nice. I'm glad you made it in here. It was nice to have you here. It was awesome having you all here today. It means the world that you show up and you support and you come back day after day after day. Enjoy Tahoe. Well, thank you very, very much. Damon, you are right. Fenway, way too small. I was there 2 weeks ago. It's tiny. It's adorable. Damon, do you remember the one time you said Bob Costas in a Spanish accent? Again, that wasn't me. That was Jimmy Smits in a Saturday Night Live skit where they were joking about how NBC News anchors were being encouraged to use proper pronunciations. And the example was like, and today, the Sandinistas, you know, putting an awful lot of the Spanish flair on Spanish words. And then all of a sudden, their sports guy walks in and he goes, ladies and gentlemen, have you met our new sports guy, Bob Costas? It was great. It's weird. It's weird, the Saturday Night Live skits that stay with me. And dare I open that door for us to walk down for another 15 minutes? I know for a fact that Jillian needs me out of here. Oy, oy, oy! Postman in Capitola says, oi, 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 which feels like a really good spot to wrap up this trip into Club Plus. Thank you all for being here. Thanks again. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share the gospel of the Plus with someone you care about. Make sure your family and friends are subscribing, are watching, are liking, are happy with the channel. Thank you very, very much for being here. And please do remember that you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here.